Hello everybody out there in Rider Nation. Another preseason game in the books and another victory. Like I said before, it's always nice to win those preseason games, and we're breaking an old tradition of losing everyone. Goes way back when. Just read somewhere there 2007 since we won both preseason games. It was a nice victory, but Winnipeg, of course, they didn't play a lot of their starters. Their offensive line, I think there was only one or two possibly that play. One for sure. I think the second guy only played a bit, but I know Big Hill. They used a lot of their backups. But I've said before, it's nice to know that your team can beat any players they put on the field, regardless if they're the first, second, third, or fourth string. You prove a point that you can beat them with our second stringers too. But overall, what impressed me was they're running the sideline pretty good. You know, compared to other years, we always had delay of game and men running on and off the field, but with all those players on the sidelines, they still seem to run a pretty efficient game plan. Harris looked good. You know, he's only in for one series. Here's a few clips of Trevor Harris's one and only drive of the game. Started the game and took her down. Here he steps up in the pocket and finds Sean Baines Jr. for a really nice pick up the ball right off the carpet. I like that guy. I like this new offensive coordinator, Jeffrey, so far. He's incorporating a bit of the running game, that's for sure. Here's Morrow taking one down for a nice gain. Here you got Trevor Harris. They got the blitz coming big time. He knows he has to get rid of the ball real quick. On down to Walker with a really nice catch play. I like that one a lot. Here it is, him going in for the touchdown. He steps up here a little bit too. He takes a little bit of time and checks all of his reads, and the third one catches Walker going across the middle for the touchdown. I would have liked to seen him play a bit more. You know, another series at least. But I know what they're thinking is they've got a hard choice at quarterback with Mason Fine, Dolegala, and Patterson. It's kind of looking like Patterson has the inside track at one of the positions for sure. And like I figured, you know, he was a short yardage guy for BC, and they're using him in the same role. Also, they had some really nice option plays for him for different downs too, and every time he did it he made yards, which is real handy. Here's one of those plays where he fakes a handoff and Patterson takes off for the first down. I really like this style of play. It's a good sneak, that's for sure. Fine made a really nice toss to Lipscomb for a touchdown. Made a couple other really nice tosses too. So he proved himself. Here's Fine after he drove him down the field and throws a perfect lob pass right in on a corner route to Lipscomb. Perfect pass, perfect pass. Dolegala came in. He wasn't too bad. Still pulling the ball down a couple times, and it reminds me of a certain Fajardo guy would do that. But to his credit, which I liked to see from him, was that he rushed the ball, and every time he did pull it down, he ran for the first down. So can't really complain at that. You make a first down no matter what you're doing, if you're tossing or pulling it down. Here's one of those plays I'm talking about. Dolegala can't see anybody out in the flats there. Pulls her down and off he goes. Makes another 12-yard gain. Can't knock a guy that runs the ball and don't get sucked. That's a good thing. Yeah. But they have a hard choice. I got a feeling they're going to try to find a way to stuff all of them on the team. It's a hard thing to do, but might have to do it. Hate to lose one of them. There's so many hard choices on this team this year, which is actually a really good thing, you know, because it proves that you brought in bloody mosquitoes. The Canadian Air Force is out in full force today. Bloody mosquitoes. Anyway, also there wasn't very many penalties today. I mean, last night, which was a good thing. Refs were letting a lot of stuff go though, and boy, I'd like to see that continue on in the season, as there was plenty of holding on the lines that I picked up, but they let it go on both sides. That makes me happy, but we only have a couple dumb penalties. You know, so many of the positions, it's going to be a hard choice. Like, I got no clue who they're going to keep at running back, and I'm sure they're going to keep Morrow and Hickson, but after that, you know, I don't know. I like that Smith, but he dropped one. You know, that Emmons looks pretty good. Yeah. And Hawkins, he had some really impressive kick return. Hard choices there, really hard choices. Also hard choices on the defensive line. I thought they would shine more when all the starters were in at the beginning, but they held their own, but didn't impress me as much as I thought they would going against a second string offensive line. Here's one play I'm talking about. Lanier, my favorite guy out there, number 91 on the left tackle there. They've moved him out to play left tackle. Can't let this quarterback get out on the outside. That's a no-no. It's going to be some hard choices there. I like that, still like that Cox Jr. He made a couple nice plays. And that Roscoe, you know, he made a sack and a lot of pressures. But we locked right up the middle a couple times there. You know, blocking scheme. Then one time they just basically walked right in the end zone. That was later on in the game when we had Dulkey there playing one position on the line, and he was the only guy that had a shot at him, but he wasn't going to let him out the outside, so he went right through the middle. Winnipeg guy went right through the middle and walked in the end zone. American receivers, the Canadian ones, are pretty well a shoe-in. That's the you know, if you got a Canadian passport in this league, you have to keep so many Canadians, so your odds of making the team are a lot better. I've always said the best 7 Canadians starters. If you have the best 7, you got the best team. But on receiver, I really like that. Really like that Shatterfield. He made some nice plays. There was a lot of them. Even you know, Watson plays the same position as Sean Baines there, slot back. You know, there's a tough decision there. I like that Sean Baines, but Watson hasn't stood down one bit. He's a pretty good player. There's so many of those guys. Lipscomb made that touchdown pass. Yeah, a lot of hard choices for the coaches. I don't know, who do you think out there should they keep and who shouldn't they? Put it down in the comments. And thanks for all the subscriptions. I really like getting this channel going. Season's just getting up and going. It should be an interesting one. To me, it kind of looks like we're gonna have more than 6 wins, that's for sure, which is exciting. And at DBs, still letting a few bad ones in there, but I think they're still one of the weakest of the team. Marshall He's our leading interception, but there's a reason he keeps peeking back in the backfield. He got beat a couple times when he was in there looking back and going long, and the guy cuts it short. Easy 20-yard pickup. But I like that Deontay Williams, 24. I wouldn't doubt if he challenges for a starting position. He really did good special teams too. I think he's a shoe-in. Here's one play by that Deontay Williams, number 24. He's playing the left side there. Bombers are second and short here, and they toss one out in the flats, and he moves in real fast and closes in and stops them to get the first down. A hell of a play by the kid. Like, you know, maybe he might take a Mari Henderson spot. Hard to say. Because we still haven't got Moncrief back. You know, he's still got to come back. Don't know what his situation is. He was in that camp the whole time. And Lothar, he really struggled in the first half. Missed 2 extra points, a field goal, and to me, didn't look like the holder. The holder was the Aussie punter, which, by the way, he had some nice kicks. I didn't think he was going to challenge for Vedvik's position, but he booted some nice balls with great hang time, and it was perfectly timed. Our guys were right there when the ball came down, so it's the perfect distance. And it's all orchestrated. You want to punt it just far enough that your guys can be there on time to grab them. Here's what I'm talking about, a perfect orchestrated punt. That Korsak, the Aussie, big boot, and then Williams right downfield perfectly to cover him. A hell of a tackle. But Lothar, the first one he did make, that Korsak Aussie, he actually got a bad snap. It was low and he got it in there, and that was a long field goal, 51 yards. I had to stop recording out there on the walk with the dog. Mosquitoes were starting to eat me alive out there. All I had left to talk about anyway was the offensive line. They're a big improvement. No sacks again. They were using Blake out on the left tackle position. I'm hoping they can find an American in there, but it would be handy if he could be a starter in the left tackle, because it gives you another Canadian option. But I'd like to see what that Hawkins can do. He hasn't had any snaps in the CFL yet, and that's the guy they had inked in to play the position. I guess time will tell there. But I think Johnson still will be the odd man out. I'm sure he's going to make the team, but because of his Canadian passport. But I think it'll be Furland up front there with Blake and Godbar. And we got a little bit of backup there too. So Fry, he was in there for a bit, and he didn't really play that well, but he's just starting in there, so he's got some learning to do. Well, anyway, hope you enjoyed the video and my take of what's going on with the Saskatchewan Roughriders this year. It's going to be real interesting. Bring on those Edmonton Eskimos. Come on, Jonesy. We're going to take you down in that guaranteed win game. Go Riders, go.